Welcome back to Lariat TV News. I'm Irma Peña and today we show you more about Zeta Phi Beta.
And I'm Marissa Moniz. First, an update from the NCAA.
The NCAA updated its policy on the participation of transgender student athletes in college sports on Thursday. The change comes just one day after President Donald Trump signed an executive order stating that student athlete assigned male at birth may not compete on a women's team. The new policy still allows biological females to compete on men's teams. NCAA President Charlie Baker said the organization believes that clearer standards would best serve today's student athletes without conflicting with state laws and court decisions. Baker said he hopes this policy will further protect, support, and enhance student athletes' mental and physical health.
If you took the bus to class this week, you might have noticed a seat reserved to commemorate Black History Month. LTVN's Marin Small has the details.
In honor of Black History Month, Waco Transit is commemorating Rosa Parks and her role in the civil rights movement by representing a front row seat on every bus with a sign in her honor. The initiative also celebrates Waco Transit's Equity Day, highlighting the ongoing commitment to transportation equality.
We feel transit is very important. It's been said, it's the starting point for the civil rights movement. And we like to remind people that equity back then is just as important as it is back then it is today.
Waco Transit Director of Operations Charles Pham helped organize the event, highlighting the importance of equitable transportation for all, celebrating Black History Month and Waco Transit Equity Day, which is also Rosa Parks' birthday.
It's just basically a reminder to everyone out there, especially the younger people who may not be familiar with Rosa Parks or what kickstarted the civil rights movement. And we also want them to know that, once again, that all our transportation, all the service that we provide, we try to make sure it's equitable and fair to the entire city of Waco.
Anali Gardner, a Waco Transit employee, appreciates the initiative, calling it a meaningful act, emphasizing that Black culture, she believes, this should be honored year-round.
It's a good gesture. I think, like I said, it's something that needs to be done all the time, not just in February month. You know, she stood for what she believed in.
Anali Gardner emphasizes the importance of unity and supporting one another as communities, reflecting the vision Rosa Parks stood for.
The fact that they're recognizing that we really need to, as a culture, is build each other up. Just keep building and loving each other, you know, because that's what Rosa Parks stood for. She wanted all of us to come together.
Celebrated Waco's Transit Equity Day, reinforcing its commitment to equal and inclusive transportation. Throughout the initiative, the city of Waco continues to strive for representation and equality within a company and the community. For Lariat TV News, I'm Marin Small.
February is Black History Month, a time to honor and celebrate Black culture. I had the chance to talk to the Zeta Phi Beta sorority that works on sharing its culture while building lasting bonds. The college experience is different for everybody, and the members in Zeta Phi Beta sorority were able to find a family away from home.
As someone who's an only child, having that sisterhood now is something, it's been very rewarding. I've grown such a huge bond with all my sisters, like each something different with each sister, and it's been great, especially since I'm about to graduate and I know for a fact that I'm gonna have this connection with my sisters for life essentially, and it's amazing.
Chartered at Baylor in 1972, this sorority has been a bridge to sisterhood, helping them connect to their background and their history.
I feel like I'm really able to be myself in a way that I never was able to before, and able to learn about a culture that I almost didn't really feel a part of when I was living back home, but now I most definitely do. I feel like I have a sense of belonging.
Fostering a sense of belonging, they invite the Baylor community to their events.
All of our events are like open to anybody. Like we're just like people on campus just like everybody else. Everybody's like a friend we haven't met basically. So don't feel shy or like, oh, maybe they won't welcome me. We'll do and meet anybody.
Reed hopes that no matter what their background is, people join them in their activities this month and learn more about their roots.
I really hope that we get a lot of different types of people. I don't like Black culture being just for Black people. I like sharing it with other people.
Even with years passing by, Zeta Phi Betas continue to connect with one another, personally and culturally. For Lariat TV News, I'm Irma Peña.
Baylor has been highlighting faculty throughout their Meet the Author series, and LTVN's Jacob Stowers gives us an inside look into their most recent event.
Kurt Kaiser was an icon in the Baylor community for years. This week, retired professor of Christian ministry and church music, Dr. Terry York, and Bob Darden, professor emeritus of journalism, discussed York's new book.
A lot of it goes back to Kurt, and much of what happens today happens because Kurt was the guy that got it started.
Dr. York felt compelled to write about Kaiser's life to both honor it and to contribute to continuing people's education in church music.
That if you're at Baylor, you probably have some interest in things religious. And if you have some interest in things religious, it's probably got something to do with the music. And we were just very fortunate for nearly 70 years to have one of the great fathers of Christian music living among us.
Kurt Kaiser was a pioneer of modern Christian church music and inspired generations of Baylor students.
I knew that Kurt Kaiser was an important name in church music at a pivotal time when it was moving from traditional to what we now call contemporary. He was a key person in that pivot.
While this book is chronicling the life and career of Kaiser, York explained that it has a deeper meaning as well.
Follow your heart. By that, follow your giftedness.
With Lariat TV News, I'm Jacob Stowers.
According to McLennan County Health Reports, Waco is currently ranked as one of the top locations for the flu in the nation. Here are a few simple steps you can take to keep yourself safe and healthy. Wash your hands frequently. Use soap and water or hand sanitizer, especially after touching shared items like desks or door handles. Don't share personal items. Avoid sharing cups, utensils, or anything that touches your mouth to minimize exposure to germs. Stay home when sick. If you have flu-like symptoms, stay in your dorm or apartment to rest and prevent spreading the illness to classmates. In sports, one Baylor coach embarks on his 25th season.
And men's basketball looks to bounce back in Waco. Keep it here.
I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. This is how I wanna. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this.
This Baylor alum brings the hype to Baylor sporting events nationwide. LTVN's Lauren Holcomb met the man behind the gold mask.
You may not know the name Travis Carver, but if you've been to any Baylor sporting event, you probably know T-Rex. Sure, all fans claim to bleed green and gold, but Carver takes it to a whole new level. In fact, he's been at every single Baylor football game, home and away, since 2019.
So since 2019, the middle of 2019, so I believe it's 67 straight, home and away, and occasional bowl games. It didn't start off as anything, it just kind of happened. And now it is a thing, like I have to go. Like it's almost like I'm expected to go, so.
Carver said he's always been loud and outgoing, so paired with the nickname his dad gave him as a kid and a childhood spent supporting Baylor sports, the T-Rex persona was born.
A lot of parents will come up with their little kids and want their kid to take a photo with me, and the kids are like scared. And I think it's funny, but then there are some kids like that, like they see me and they're, you know, they come. And I have people tell me like, oh, my kid's watching on TV and they like look for you on TV. So that's fun and that's cool.
Now Baylor fans love him, but some opposing teams don't feel quite the same way.
I mean, I'm blocked by a lot of athletic pages from other teams. It's fun to watch another team's fan base leave early out of their stadium. I've seen that a few times and that's really fun, especially when it's their homecoming. That's the best.
Carver says at the end of the day, he's all about having a good time and bringing the energy everywhere he goes.
I am really loud and crazy, but I'm not really just like insane. I am a normal human being. So don't take anything on Twitter seriously.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but T-Rex makes me want to step up my own fan game. I mean, I have an RG3 jersey, I have hats, but feeling like I need to get a bear hat to kind of get on that T-Rex level. For Lariat TV News, I'm Lauren Holcomb.
Baylor departments host weekly lectures, but very few combine origami and math. Dr. Berger was the 2010 recipient of the prestigious Cherry Award, which honors great professors and encourages other academic institutions to value their great professors. It also includes a $250,000 prize and allows the recipient to teach at Baylor during an upcoming semester. He wanted his lecture to be accessible to all majors, not just math majors. He explained how something as simple as folding a piece of paper can translate into a complex figure. By the end, he hoped to explain that there is structure in everything, from advanced math to Jurassic Park.
Locally known as the drink that runs through Waco's veins, Dr. Pepper is a big part of Texas history. After the drink became a sensation, Dr. Pepper's first president, Robert Lansby, built himself a mansion in downtown Waco. The home still stands today, and it's part of history in more ways than one. LTVN's O'Connor Daniel shows you more.
The corner of 16th Street and Merritt Avenue lies one of Waco's oldest and grandest examples of early 1900s architecture. It was founded by Robert Lazenby, the president of Dr. Pepper, after his beloved drink went on to be a wild success.
It was built in 1908, and it was built for Robert Lazenby. He was the first president of Dr. Pepper, and he was a beverage chemist, and he owned a bottling company. So he took Dr. Pepper from being a beverage at a soda fountain to being bottled, and then gave it to the world.
Robert Lazenby had the mansion built in cutting-edge mission-style architecture, a shift from Victorian design. In the 50s, it became show-and-tell antiques.
Yes, we're an antique shop, but we also like to tell people about the historical significance of the house, because Lazenby was a very important part of Waco history.
Along with its historical significance, the house has a personal connection to Baylor's film department.
So my son had made a film here that was in the Waco Independent Film Festival, and we've worked with Baylor kids in the film department.
Given the building's character, the Lazenby Mansion has been used by Baylor film students to create movie sets, showcasing a variety of genres such as crime and drama.
Such a great old house. It could really be, used in so many different ways. So it's been fun, and we look forward to doing that more in the future, having people come in and be able to use it for special events.
You can visit one of Waco's most memorable antique stores on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and by appointment. For Lariat TV News, I'm O'Connor Daniel.
A boutique has recently opened up right near Magnolia, featuring items that are exclusive to their shop. LTVN's Gracie Savage has the inside scoop.
I'm here at Mosaic Makers, a new boutique that opened downtown. Let's learn a little bit more about their mission.
Mosaic Makers is a boutique that has a very unique mission. They only buy their in-store goods from women makers or women-owned companies in the state of Texas. The owner, Katie, said that she wanted to create a space where women feel empowered and have creative freedom.
I knew I wanted to create community around these women. I honestly didn't think it'd be a retail store until I saw a space for lease in Dallas. And it was kind of a light bulb moment for me where I just thought, this is how we do it.
This boutique sells everything from clothes to candles to dog toys. Some of the makers that they buy from are located here in Waco, including one in particular named Jamie Besa.
A mix of local love, so a lot of Waco landmarks and things that just celebrate the Waco culture, and then her Asian descent and heritage. And it's awesome to see these come together and form some really kind of sassy and creative ways of saying everyday phrases. She does stickers, greeting cards, all kinds of paper goods, and they are flying off the shelf.
Mosaic Makers strives to highlight the talent of Texan women throughout the year. Right now, they have a table honoring Black History Month in their store.
What I really like to do is 1, focus on the Black artisans, 2, tell their story, which we do on social media. They'll each get a dedicated post. We'll have some reels about them. And then 3, we try to celebrate Black history in progress. So it's really about focusing on forward motion for the Black community and where they're growing and going.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Gracie Savage.
Baylor Assistant Professor of Piano Michael Clark performed Tuesday night at Roxy Grove Hall in honor of Florence Price. Clark was first inspired by Florence Price in 2019 when he attended a conference where a pianist played her piece. Price is a symphonic pianist composer who played in Chicago from 1927 till 1953. When she passed, Clark wanted to introduce students to her music and perform her works to bring a greater recognition to her legacy.
We can look to a greater variety of composers. Believe me, Beethoven's my favorite composer. He's not going anywhere. I think there's room for us to keep exploring composers like Florence Price and others, women and people of color, that have been sometimes overlooked in classical music.
It's not every day you get to go to a birthday party for two Black Bears. Last weekend marked the second birthday for Baylor's newest additions, Indy and Belle. The Bears had a line down the block of people ready to celebrate with them last Saturday. The Bear Habitat staff lined the walkway with cake, t-shirts, and balloons for everyone. It wasn't just students that came out to celebrate. Kids and adults came together to wish the Bears good luck on year 3.
Last year's was their first birthday, so every first birthday is very special in everybody's heart. Yes. But this year you're like, yeah, they're getting older, and it's cute to see the growth that they've had. Yeah.
In sports, one Baylor coach embarks on his 25th season.
And men's basketball looks to bounce back in Waco. Keep it here. The longest-tenured coach at Baylor is celebrating a quarter of a century at the helm. I sat down with Coach Glenn Moore to talk about this milestone.
Baylor softball head coach Glenn Moore is celebrating 25 years in his position. Prior to coming to Baylor, Moore coached at Northwestern State, William Carey University, and LSU. But something about Waco really stuck out.
Within about 4 or 5 hours of being on campus, my wife and I looked at each other and said, this is where we want to move. And we felt God calling us to be here, and really felt comfortable. And that was 25 years ago. So God has really blessed us.
Through his decades of coaching, Moore has kept up with many athletes and believes the mission behind the sport has been the most impactful.
I have a list of every athlete that I ever coached, and know many of the ones I recruited, and in all of the camps we've done, Baylor has allowed us to use this platform to change some lives and lead people to Christ. And the baptisms we've had, those far exceed any of the trophies we've ever won here.
With a new season on the horizon and falling short at the Super Regionals last year, the team is coming in with a new mentality.
To play with a chip on our shoulders, and because we felt, hey, we were probably even better than we thought we were, and we're going to make sure that this year that we don't leave any doubt, and we're going to play up to the level that Baylor softball is supposed to.
Softball starts their season Thursday with the tournament in College Station. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Marie Scott.
After Tuesday's loss at Texas Tech, men's basketball looks to bounce back Saturday versus UCF. The Bears are sitting right in the middle of Big 12 standings, averaging 79.5 points per game and a 10.2 shooting margin. The Knights are also coming off a loss versus Big 12 competitor Cincinnati. UCF is sitting at 4-7 in conference play. The last time these two teams met was last season when the Bears beat the Knights 77-69. Baylor is feeling the loss of two players, VJ Edgecombe, who suffered an injury last weekend, and Langston Love.
In this league, it's hard when you're playing 6-7 guys, and again, hopefully we get VJ and Langston back, and that'll really help with things. Us coaches, really, our plays work a lot better when we have more players.
In a game for the ages, Baylor men's basketball secured a historic comeback win against then number 11 Kansas. Aiden Pham has the story.
In a tale of two halves, Baylor men's basketball defeated number 11 Kansas 81-70 at home Saturday in front of a packed Foster Pavilion. The win marks Baylor's largest comeback this season and Kansas's largest blown lead in school history.
Baylor family's great to us, and I mean, it's not fun not pleasing the crowd. And for those that wanted to leave at halftime, thanks for staying.
The Bears quickly found themselves behind after an 18-3 run from Kansas. The Jayhawks would lead by as many as 21 in the first half. Shooting just 10% from three and 28% from the field, Baylor trailed 40-21 at halftime.
The coaches left the locker room after we taught, and we just came together and said we got to believe. If we don't believe, nothing is possible. We came together, we came out gritty, and we just did what we did.
Coming out of halftime with energy, Baylor quickly cut Kansas's lead down to 12, prompting the crowd to erupt onto its feet. A 25-6 run that included key defensive stops, made free throws, and big threes paved the way for Baylor to take a 47-46 lead. The Jayhawks would respond with a 13-2 run to take a 59-49 advantage.
They were as good as we were the first half plus, and we were as bad as they were the first half plus, and just kind of a tale of two halves.
Despite freshman guard VJ Edgecombe leaving the game early due to an injury, Baylor responded with a 17-4 run, and with 3:57 left in the game, a made three from graduate guard Jalen Celestine catapulted Baylor back in front 66-63. A 15-7 run would seal the game for the Bears.
This is God's victory. I'm just telling you, I've been here 22 years, and I don't know if I'm more proud of a group. I mean, down 21, limited numbers, VJ out, what that group was able to do.
Freshman guard Robert Wright III led the Bears with a career-high 24 points, and fifth-year forward Norchad Omier had 18 points to finish the night. Baylor improves to 14-7 overall and 6-4 in conference play with the win. The Bears next face Texas Tech on the road on Tuesday night. For Lariat TV News, I'm Aiden Pham.
Baylor men's basketball's freshman guard Robert Wright III was recognized as the Big 12 Newcomer of the Week. Wright is the second Bear this season to receive this honor, joining fellow freshman VJ Edgecombe, who won it last week. In the Bears' comeback win over Kansas last week, the standout freshman led the Bears with 24 points to help erase a 19-point deficit at halftime. Being a staple in the Bears' offensive production, Wright is averaging 20 points over the last 3 games.
Rob's been phenomenal. As good a basketball player as Rob is, he might be an even better big brother. I mean, he's unbelievable with kids, and he's an unbelievable teammate, so it's so easy to cheer him on.
Women's basketball has won 3 games in a row and will be looking to extend their streak to 4 when they play BYU on Saturday night. In their last 2 games, the Bears have outscored their opponents by a whopping 84 points, with the largest margin of victory being a 92-47 trouncing of Houston. BYU sits towards the bottom of the conference with a 12-10 record, but they are coming off a win 73-66 against UCF. Baylor will be hoping for a repeat performance from junior forward Bella Fauntleroy, who had a career-high 29 points against Cincinnati last weekend. After Saturday, women's basketball stays home to face West Virginia on Tuesday. And with that, we're closing out sports this week. Be sure to stick with the Baylor Lariat and LTVN to get updates on all your favorite teams. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, Claire Marie. That's all for this week's newscast. And be sure to follow Lariat TV News on YouTube for more stories throughout the week.
We hope to see you next Friday for our weekly newscast. Have a great week, and as always, sick 'em Bears.